setting new standards in podcast excellence. You have joined the WBT, fully focused on business and taxes. Here is your host, Michael Lodge.
And welcome to the WBT. This is Michael Lodge, and I'm glad that you've joined me. I was thinking, I went for a walk this afternoon, and I was thinking about how much I hear about hate every single day, every moment of the day. If you turn on the television, there's hate. Look at CNN, look at Fox, look at all of the networks, and it's nothing about hate. It's always anti-this, anti-everything. We have become an anti-everything society, and it has become dangerous.
I am the opposite, God forbid I could be living antithesis, revel in this, resist, maybe you'll get to just venomous. Standing in line is the way that you go. I will survive on the path that I chose. Sever the ties from the blind and all those ignorant bastards I am in control. You won't take me alive, I'd rather die than live in this prison. I am anti-everything, done being kind. I draw the line, no I will not give in. I am anti-everything, 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 anti-everything.
And there you go. We're anti-everything. And it's become so angry and so ugly out there that we now have to hear about it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There isn't a time when you turn on the news or turn on the radio and you hear some politician like Nancy Pelosi who is getting up and saying anti-this, anti-Trump, anti-president, anti-tax, it's anti-everything. And we have Antifa now that's out there who is taking her words and hurting people and attacking them. Attacking those who believe in freedom of speech, but yet are attacked for what they say. These people are not out there doing anything that is legitimate. Nothing. When you become a terrorist organization that goes out and attacks fellow Americans, that is terrorism. When you have Black Lives Matter going out and attacking the police and saying that they should die, that is terrorist actions. So here we are. We are in this state of a country where everybody is against everybody. You've got the left and the right who don't like anything that the other one says or does. You've got one side trying to tear down monuments and statues who have taught us the history of hate. And every time that you look at one of those statues of an individual who fought against other Americans, that was hate. That was anti-Americanism. And we need to be reminded of that every single day that we look at it. If there's something that happened within our culture or within our community, and there is something that stands up and says, this is what happened, that is a teaching lesson. And if you do not see it, and if you do not listen to it, and if you take it for granted, then you have taken the whole issue of America for granted. Why we were formed. Anger, hate, calling people Nazis, calling people racist, calling people who believe in somebody Nazis just because they believe in somebody is a danger to you and me. It's no longer political speech, but it has become hate speech, pushing an agenda of hate to divide the nation. to divide a nation to go against a president. To divide a nation to go against its own nation. We have nobody in politics anymore that represents us. Instead, they represent their party or their political agenda. I really think that we need to look back on what Ronald Reagan said about fascism when he said that if fascism comes to the United States, it will come through the form of liberalism. And he was 100% right. Today we have a liberal politics that is creating this country into no longer a country of freedoms, but a country of controls. Trying to control your freedom of speech and what you can and cannot say. Who you can and cannot believe in. Who you can and cannot vote for. So they use hate to force you into not being able to say what you need to say. I just saw a Catholic school in California who has decided to remove all of their statues from out front of their school because they don't want to offend anybody. This is not America. America has always protected the freedom of religion. But now we have liberalists who want to come in and tell us who we can and cannot believe in. So they attack schools and they attack churches and they paint faces and they put paint on religious statues because they don't want you to believe in God anymore. They're anti-religion because they're anti-everything. Do you not see the danger in what's going on? If you don't see the danger of how America is being taken apart bit by bit, then you need to rethink your position because this America is being destroyed. I remember Henry Cabot Lodge, he said, you have to be very careful about the gift that has been given you. This freedom of taken away will destroy the world. If you look how liberalism has failed the European Union, and how many people have died because of this freedom of open borders and this freedom of bringing in so many people who do not believe as you do. Has killed many Europeans. So if we're unable to bring the left and the right and sit them at a table and come to a middle ground of what's right and wrong, of what needs to be done for this nation, then nothing will happen with this nation. We will have failed democracy. And all the nations around this world who look at us, if we cannot get our nation under control, will be seen as a nation that has failed. I do not like to fail. And I'm sick and tired of anti-everything. It's got to end, and it's got to end now. So we've got to stop people like Nancy Pelosi from being so anti-American, anti-everything. She has failed America. All liberalism has failed America because it has come to the point where this hate has driven America apart. We are better than that. I encourage each and every single one of you, get involved in your communities. See what's happening in your schools. See what's happening in your city halls. See what's happening in your state government. See what's happening on the national level with your Congress people. If your Congress people are pushing, or any of your politicians are pushing a political agenda, stop them. Political agendas do not help you, and they do not help me. And they do not help the American people. If they are trying to literally do something for the people of the United States, then that is great. But if they are banded together in a political society of liberalism, or even if they're in the same group of conservatives who fail to reach a common goal, and that is to help Americans and to protect this country, then get rid of them. Get rid of them. Vote them out of office. Remember, the silent majority put Donald Trump into office. And everybody keeps forgetting about that silent majority. Everybody's angry about that silent majority. We, as Americans, need to do something, and we need to do it fast. Because our nation is in trouble. These anti-everything people out there have got to go, and they've got to stop doing what they're doing. But the only way they can do this is if Americans stand up and say, okay, enough is enough. Stop it right now. This nation was formed on the purpose to provide you and me freedoms. Socialism, liberalism, takes those freedoms away. And we're seeing it happen day after day after day. So let's get out there. Let's really, really fight for our country. Because this anti-American, this anti-everything, has got to stop.
World of Business and Taxes on WBT.
This is brought to you by Lodge & Co., a business and tax advisory firm where your success is our goal. Call us today toll-free at 888-681-1518 or visit us at www.lodge-co.com and learn more about what we can do for you. Lodge & Co., your source for sound business and tax services.
Thank you for listening to the WBT with Michael Lodge. Join us again tomorrow as we explore more about business and taxes. Follow us on iHeartRadio and go to our podcast website at www.wbtpod.com and listen to all of our podcasts and read our blogs.